always such cute cats here. I don't know if they're all hers. I know she's got some inside, but she feeds some from around the neighborhood that definitely have homes. They just come to get a free meal. That cute little orange cat up there. She's got a Seal Point Siamese inside in the window. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Although temperamental. Anyway, welcome to a wonderful windy Wednesday. Say that 3 times fast. It is windy as heck here, and I don't really know why. A few years back, we rarely had wind here. You know, you'd get the occasional storm that would bring some in, but we never had windy days, you know, unless there was a rainstorm, a thunderstorm, a snowstorm. Not on a sunny day we didn't have wind, and all of a sudden, it's like, man, sometimes I feel like I'm living in Chicago. It's so windy here so often. Greetings, Earthlings. Greetings, Earthlings. Come here. Wait. Lift your foot. There you go. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, so apologies for not uploading the friggin' photos. This is what I'm talking about, where I keep running into issues with my computer. I have no storage left on the thing, and I have these issues with it not being compatible with a lot of programs. It's a Acer Spin Chromebook, and it's you know, I don't know, I bought it because it seemed like a decent computer when I got it, and it was on sale, which was a big deal. But yeah, it's not that great. Good morning, guys. Come on. So trying to get them onto the computer has been an issue, but I think I figured it out. I was trying to delete stuff, and I couldn't figure out how to delete it. It would let me go into my memory storage, but it wouldn't let me do anything with it. So, yeah, anyway, I think I got it figured out. So they'll be up today. That's a promise. As will the greasy prints on the window. Which, man, that I am still totally floored by that. That is like, it's so cool and also so creepy at the same time. Because, I mean, we were going away from the car in that area a couple different times in different parts of the woods, but, you know, I mean, where were we going? 45 minutes one time, 40 minutes the next. It's like, get out of there. I don't know what you're licking, but don't lick it. Come on. It's just crazy. So that'll be up also today. Wait till you see these footprints. Man, they're just, it's amazing. I cannot wait to get back up to that place. It's going to be something. I wish that I had somebody here to go up there with me, like once this starts rolling on a regular schedule. Because I really have a strong suspicion that this is going to be the gold mine. I'm hoping so anyway. You know, you hear these stories quite often about people with activity at their houses, and once it's there, it's hard to get them to stop. He understands that me coming there and interacting with them might make them interact a little more. As much as he didn't want to believe and didn't believe before, he's definitely, no, you're not eating dirt. Come on, let's go. He's definitely believing now, and as apprehensive as he is about a lot of things, he's very intrigued, to say the least, as most people become when this stuff starts happening. I promised him I wouldn't do anything with food. I wouldn't do anything to try to get them aggressive. If I leave them gifts, it'll be something, you know, natural. Nothing they can eat. Tobacco, shells, toys, something like that. And we're going to go from there, man. Oh, I know you would, buddy. I know you would. Absolutely. Hey, Bigfoot Mama. Let me say hello. I'm sorry. I skipped over saying hello. Hello, Lady Wolf. Hello, Freaky Fresh. Hello, Bigfoot Mama. Me and Fresh already have discussed this many times. If we lived in the same area, we would be doing a lot of things together, a lot of fun things. There's a good chance, though, that we would probably end up in the back of a police car if we lived near each other. Just because we feed off of each other and kind of have that same wise ass humor, wit, that can get you in trouble. But regardless. So, man, I was up last night. I couldn't sleep. I'm still not feeling. It's so crappy, man. This thyroid business is just so crappy. It just makes you feel like doo-doo once in a while. And all night, I just couldn't stop sweating. And I'm still kind of feeling that way now. But I was up all night last night, scrolling through movies on Tubi. If you don't have Tubi, it's free. I suggest you download it. It's a streaming app. I'll tell you why. 2 reasons for me. One, it has a ton of documentaries about cryptids, aliens, Bigfoot, Mothman, UFOs, paranormal. I mean, a ton. There's so many. Stuff I've never seen and heard of before. The other reason is because it has some of the greatest cult classic 80's movies that there ever were. And I was scrolling through a lot of those last night. I don't know if you guys, I know that not all of you were kids in the 80's, but man, I loved being a kid in the 80's, and I still love the movies. Brown pants. Oh God, I'll tell you right now, Tubi's got way more in the way of cryptids and high strangeness documentaries than Hulu. Pluto is good, way more than Hulu though, because Hulu does, Hulu's very mainstream. They do the big stuff, the stuff from bigger production companies, and Tubi and Pluto are they do independent stuff often, so they got a lot. But so I don't know if you guys remember some of these movies, but there was a movie with Jim Carrey when he was young, just kind of starting out in the business. I don't think it was his first movie, although I think it was one of his very first. It was definitely his first starring role. And it was called Once Bitten. And it had, what was her name with the gap in her teeth? Is it Lauren Bacall? Was that her name? I think that was her name. But this is a movie that I watched as a kid, and now listen, this movie's not winning any awards, obviously, but it was one of those movies that when you watched as a kid, or even as there's a pin on the sidewalk, and I don't want anyone's dog to step on it. Come on. He gets seduced by this beautiful older woman, and much to the chagrin of his girlfriend, he gets turned into a vampire. And it's so cheesy and so good at the same time that I had to watch it. Then I watched Lauren Hutton, that's it. Lauren Hutton, yes. Or, right? Hutton or Bacall? I was one of those two. I think it was Hutton. I don't know. Either way, she had the gap in her teeth. She was really pretty. Blonde. Then I watched Cop and a Half. Does anybody remember this movie with Burt Reynolds? And there was this a little boy, little black kid, who he wants to be a cop so bad that he goes around mimicking everything he hears in the movies that cops say and do. And then he sees a crime take place, and he gets the license plate, and then the guy shows up at his house, and so he has to go stay with Burt. Oh, what a great flick that was. Look at these two big jumbos. That little kid, I don't know whatever happened to him, but I'll tell you right now, that kid had so much personality at that age. He was so awesome. He was so awesome. Such a great movie. Yes, The Goonies, definitely. The Goonies is also on Tubi. The Goonies is one of my absolute all-time favorites. That is not just a cult classic. That's a classic. That's a great, great movie. Maverick, stop it. No. Sit. 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 Good boy. Good boy. No more. No. No. Good boy. No. No, Maverick. Oh, my God. Because he knows we're ending the walk. This is what happens every day. Fright Night. Yes, Fright Night's also on there. Fright Night was a great movie. There's, did you ever see The Monster Squad? Anyone ever see that? Wolfman's got nards. That's another one, another cult classic, just a great flick. They did the 25th or 30th anniversary of it a couple years ago, and they re-released it on DVD and Blu-ray. And they were playing it to rent. Oh God, The Lost Boys. Okay, so I have a slight obsession with vampires, right? I my whole life as a kid, I wanted to be a vampire. Even as an adult, I want to be a vampire. To me, the vampire was the greatest movie monster, like classic movie monster that there ever was. He was powerful. He was immortal. He was seductive. Everything about the vampire just screamed awesome. And then you had, when you started seeing female vampires in movies later on, it was like, holy cow, the sexiest monsters there ever were. Remember, Jennifer Esposito was in Van Helsing, and good God, I was in love. In love. Lady Hawk. I don't know if I know that one. Tango and Cash. Rad. Okay, now this is a real test. Anybody ever see the movie Rad? R-A-D, Rad. With Crew Jones. Talk about cult classic. This is a movie that I loved when I was a kid. We remember recording it onto a VHS tape off of the TV, and then it went away. You lose those tapes, they go away, you get DVDs, yada yada, and then you wish you never got rid of it. They never released it on VHS on its own. They never released it on DVD on its own. It literally disappeared from life for years, and there were groups of people on Reddit, on different websites who kept petitioning to get this movie back. And then finally one day, about 5 years ago, the production company decided that they were going to re-release it. And oh man, was I so happy they did. I was so happy they did. They re-released it on DVD. I bought it. They played it on Prime. They played it on HBO. They played it on Hulu. They played it everywhere. It's still up somewhere. I don't know where it's on right now, but yeah, it's about this kid. He's a BMX rider in a small town in like Iowa or something, and his dream is to go big. He delivers newspapers. He's got a single mom and a sister, and this BMX race comes to town with all these big, sponsored riders, the biggest in the world, and he enters the race. And oh man, it's just, and Lori Loughlin from Full House, the one who was Uncle Jesse's wife, she was in it, and man, did I fall in love with her in that movie. One of the greatest soundtracks too. Such a wonderful soundtrack. Hey, Mark, what's up, buddy? Red Dawn. Oh my God, yeah, Red Dawn was another one. I wouldn't even call it a cult classic because I just think that's a classic. That's such a good movie. Um, uh, you know, back in the Cold War era, you could imagine something like that possibly happening. The fear was there. And man, what a great cast they had in that movie. Holy cow. Thinking back to the people that were in that, my goodness. Charlie Sheen, Swayze, there were just so many. Salem's, man, okay, now we're bringing out a whole bunch of different stuff I wasn't even thinking about. Yeah, Salem's Lot was creepy as hell. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I mean, the 80s produced some amazing movies. And the thing that they did really well, I think, because it was a different time, is that they had a lot of them had a very light-hearted feel to them. They were cheesy, yeah, but they were light-hearted. They were fun. You had your serious ones, but they just made some great movies back then. And I love them. I still go back and watch so many over and over. Oh God, what do you mean not many have watched Colors? If you haven't watched Colors, your head must have been in a hole. That's like such a moving movie, speaking to the dirty distrust for the LAPD. And oh God, yeah, great movie. Great movie. Yeah, 80's was fun to grow up in, man. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I wish I could go back. Isn't that the way it works? Always. You always wish you could go back. The toys, the commercials, Saturday morning cartoons. Man, even the commercials back then, they were so much fun. I remember one day I was at home on YouTube and I was looking up 80s stuff, and this video came on. It was literally 2 hours of 80s commercials, and I sat and watched every one of them because it was, there was so much nostalgia attached to it. And watching the toys, the He-Man figures, the Ninja Turtles, the G.I. Joes, the wrestling action figures, Mask. I remember this cartoon called Mask. White Dog Boo was a thing in the 80s. It was. You don't see it too often anymore because people pick it up, so it doesn't have time to dry out in the sun anymore. The only time you see white poo now is when you're out and it's coyote poo because of all the calcium from the bones. Andrew McCarthy, Mannequin. Sonia, remember Mannequin? That was another one. Another great cult classic. Or how about Rodney Dangerfield, Back to School? Oh, what about Can't Buy Me Love? Tell me you've seen that one. Can't Buy Me Love, where the nerdy kid who mows lawns, uh, he pays the girl, the really popular pretty girl, pays her to pretend she's his girlfriend to make him popular. So many. I could go on for hours. There's just so many that were so good. There was I forget what the name of it was. I don't know if it was maybe Delivery Boy or something like that, where the kid delivered pizzas and then was mistaken for a basically a male escort, and then ended up saying, "Well, I'm just going to be one. Then I'm going to use this pizza thing as my gig, and they can call in and order a certain pizza, and that means they really want this male escort to come show up." They were great movies, man. It was just it's a simpler time, as everything was. The further you go back, the simpler it was. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base and bring up some of those, maybe stir some memories for everybody. See what your favorites were. Blade wasn't the 80's, was it? Are you talking about Blade with Wesley Snipes? That was like in the early 2000s or late, yeah, early 2000s. Or is it a different Blade? Oh my God! Of course I remember Love Bites. What was the one with John Cusack, where he stood outside with the radio? What the hell was the name of that movie? And you have the Breakfast Club, Meatballs. There were too many, too many. Come on, buddy. Maverick's got his vampire killing steak back. He's sharpening it. Say anything. That's the one. Thank you, Sonia. Another classic. He serenades her outside the window. The radio. Great, great movie. Come on, Bubba. Let's go. Come on. Bring your steak with you. There you go. He's looking for vampires. Come on. You heard us say Lost Boys. That thing is going to impale you if you keep running with it like that. Put that down. You're going to hurt yourself. You don't know how to hold it. In the middle. In the middle, butthead. Let's go. Let's go. You're going to hurt yourself. I don't remember Freaks of Nature. What about Nerds? Revenge of the Nerds. And then there's my all-time favorites from the 80's and 70's: Star Wars, Back to the Future, and Jaws. Uh, my three. I think if I told you like my the four favorite movies from that time period were Star Wars, Back to the Future, Jaws, and Lost Boys. Those were my absolute favorite 80's movies. I know Star Wars was technically in the 70's, but it went into the 80's. Back to the Future was. I remember watching that movie and I was mesmerized. I was in Boston visiting my family, my cousin. We were sitting on the bed in my Auntie Ruthie's room and just glued to the TV. And then, oh my God, I almost forgot this one, A Never Ending Story. I'll have to check Freaks of Nature out. I don't know yet, Fresh. I've been working on a couple things, and I'm still trying to figure out if this gentleman is free this week or not. Um, I have to touch base with him again today. I'm not going to say who yet, but it's a good one. It's a good one. If not, I'm going to do a show anyway. I have something lined up in case nobody can make it this week. Maverick, let's go. He's so defiant. Let's go. Come on. All right. You got your stick. You're happy. Hey, Dark Woods. What's up, buddy? Don't work too hard, pal. Come on. Let's go. Maverick. Just finished a pilot. Managed to get to the private jet yet. Private place yet. What's that? Private place yet. I'm so confused. Private place. Or other. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Wait. Wait. What is that? What are you talking about? Private place. What is that? Oh, you weren't here when I talked about it. Yeah. I'm going back up. I'm posting those pictures today. I couldn't get them posted yesterday. I've been up there already. Yeah. That's where I took the pictures of the footprints, which will be posted today. I'm going up this weekend. Yep, I already saw him. I saw the land. I didn't get to do a full big sweep of the woods, but I saw enough. I'm going to go in and do a full sweep investigation of the woods this weekend. And I got the footprints, and I'm still trying to figure out this whole audio mess. I can't figure it out, but I'll get it figured out at some point. It's the promised land, dude. I'm telling you right now, it is the promised land. If there's ever going to be a place that's going to produce, it's that. It's this place, man. He's got stuff going on here for 2 years, on and off. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, guys, let me get him inside. I got to get on the computer as usual. Hope you have a wonderful day. If you get some time to yourselves, maybe go watch an 80's movie. I bet you'd put a smile on your face. Have a wonderful day, guys. I love you. Till next time. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out.